everyone, and welcome to Rad Chat. My name's Jo McNamara, and I'm joined by my fellow host, Norman Joel Canderson.
Hi everyone.
So here we are at UKIO in the live pod box, and we have a very special guest, El Presidente. Have you actually gone through the inauguration yet?
No.
No, not yet.
And I honestly, I don't think it's like a big deal. I think it all gets done remotely.
It is a big deal.
No, I've got some emails that I have to click like yes, some consent forms, but the reality is I've been associated with UKIO now for like maybe 7-8 years.
Yeah.
Like various roles, and then working parties, managing the working party. So when they approached me, kind of is a good moment.
Yeah.
Very happy.
Huge honour.
So take over as of I think 4 p.m. today. We've got 2 years to make this as keep going, growing it, making sure there's smiles on people's faces. And the MO is pretty simple for me. Just keep the group together, and just like the main motivating factor for me is that you get to meet so many people from all walks of life here now, and if I can use my experience like coming up on the clinical side, working in industry, academia, maybe give them to mentor them, see them come up, and shape like UK radiology and oncology.
So go on, Shah, tell us a little bit about your career. What got you into the field?
Yeah, I mean, people are reaching out to me on LinkedIn saying, can you mentor me for this and that?
You're going to have hundreds of mentors.
When you're in medical school, you're completely fixated by becoming a consultant because that's like, what you're training to do, and that's considered, becoming senior within like healthcare. But at some point I realized that I was just having too much fun doing what I was doing, and at some point I lost track of reaching an end goal. So I decided I was just going to enjoy every moment and whatever opportunity comes my way. So I did a few random jobs. I always knew I wanted to end up in radiology, and then when I started radiology I took like a combined academic clinical training pathway funded by the NIHR, so I did a bit of research during my clinical years. And those time, being at George's was just like great for me because it had really good radiology education. It was like a super fun place. And like my friends from Hexarad, like Amy, Fazana, Jamin, Sam, I remember those guys just being in reporting room saying like, you know what, we want to just take this vibe that we have within this reporting room and then like just work together going forward, and like to see those guys grow and do their thing. So I was always surrounded by entrepreneurship and people bringing new ideas to the workplace. Then after getting my exams and everything, I did like my formal research period, moved to a new trust, and then delved into academia, did loads of clinical trials like brain tumor imaging. And at that time, the whole kind of AI space was exploding, right? So everything was like AI in imaging. Like we're talking about like 2018. Hugh Harvey was a good friend of mine, still is, and he'd been working with Chiron at that time. So he said like, look, you've got your expertise, he has his expertise, and like why don't we bring them together and bring them under Hardy and Health, which I worked for a number of years, and to see Hugh just build out Hardy and Health has been incredible for me, and to be a small part of it, it's just like, that was a huge win for me. And wherever I've gone, I've always retained the friends, so I'm incredibly loyal. And generally, if you're kind of part of my orbit and my sphere, and we've done stuff together, just because I've moved on or someone else has moved on, you never lose that relationship, and that's what's happened with UKIO. So Rizwan brought me on to kind of manage the industry partners, because I've always taken a kind of viewpoint that industry has so much to provide in terms of education. There's a commercial element to it and they have to sell, but we can't innovate as academics and clinicians without industry support. The huge amounts of R&D that they put in, the risks they take. One example, a lot of what I do is like mechanical thrombectomy. pulling out clots out of people's brains. Medtronic, many years ago, had to make a decision as to whether to fund the major trials for mechanical thrombectomy. Fortunately, those trials were positive. Now we're rolling out 24/7 stroke services. I've always had this relationship with industry, try to embed them into innovation of what we do in the front line, but allow frontline radiologists, radiotherapists, radiographers to be a part of that innovation journey. So this year we've run 3 industry sessions. They've all had a theme. They've gone really well, like the discussions taking place.
It's been busy, isn't it?
Been super busy. I kind of just want to run with that. So yeah.
Amazing.
Lots to look forward to then for the next couple of years.
Yeah, and you guys are going to be a massive partner. Like, we can't do UKIO without you guys, so, so, whatever it takes for this to become successful. I mean, you're perfectly placed in this.
Yeah, we're in a good pod box.
Lucky, yeah.
So
But we're going to get a roof.
Yeah, we are hoping to get a roof. But for anyone who's listening who hasn't visited UKIO, you come down the escalators and we're basically between 2 big pillars but with glass facing walls. So everyone walks past, gets to have a look in, feel like a goldfish bowl, but in a good way. So yeah, it's really good, but the external noise can sometimes get loud, so we've said to Shah it'd be great to have a roof.
I mean, coming back to like the whole UKIO thing and like my journey, like now, one thing that I've loved more than anything, rather than the outcomes, is like the people that you meet.
Yeah.
And if I can be a part of their fabric and vice versa, like now we're doing this thing, but I can guarantee you, like in 5 years, we're still going to be, we're going to be closer than ever. And I'm just really interested in everyone else's stories. If I can be a small part of that and, help steer them to where they want to be, then, that's enough for me. Like, I may be, I may be the face of this franchise for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
But really, it's just about looking after the people that work in, day out, Profile Productions, all the VPs from the working parties, all the different societies, you guys. So
yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here on Rad Chat.
Anytime.
And we look forward to next year seeing it all come together again and be an amazing event.
With a roof.
With a roof.
Yeah.
Thank you.